Before I step into the pulpit, I just want to say a word about what Barbara mentioned earlier, the coronavirus, and sort of what are we doing here at the church, especially on a communion Sunday. I want to speak to that because it's just in the news and it may have you concerned and properly so. So first thing I want to say is this week I'm going to be in a meeting with other leaders in our church, and we're going to, in that meeting, talk about nothing but this and sort of what are the preparations that should be made and what are the things that we want to do. But the good news is many of those things are already in place. This is a building that gets cleaned very well on a very regular basis every single day. We already have certain processes in critical areas where we would have these concerns. The nursery would be one, about how do we wash the toys? How do we make sure all the surfaces are clean? This morning at 6:30 a.m., there was someone who walked through every single classroom in this building to make sure that there were sanitation supplies, cleaning supplies in every closet, towels if you're a volunteer in that space. We're all going to want to become even extra attentive to that. But I want you to know that that process has already started. There are some things that only you can control, and you're going to need to manage your own sense of what is best for you and what makes you anxious and what doesn't. Let me give you an example. This morning, I'm going to give you an opportunity to walk up to a basin of water. I'll talk about this later. Put your finger in here, and then make the sign of the cross on your forehead. You may be thinking already, I'm not putting my finger in a basin of water where other people are putting their finger. And others of you are going, oh, you've got to be kidding. We don't need to have that discussion. Here's the thing. If you're just a little uncomfortable, if that makes you anxious, all you have to do, you could do this. You could just put your hand above the water. I feel the power of the water. You can still make the sign of the cross, can't you? It doesn't make you a bad Christian if right now you decide, I'm not touching the water. Are you with me? But some of you may feel like, you know what, I'm not there, I'm not worried. So a couple of people have said, when do we stop shaking hands? The answer is, anytime you want to. I greeted somebody out in the hallway, and he said, hey, come up here, Christine, just for a second. And he said, he walked up to me, and he goes, hey, and I put my hand out, and he went, hey. And I said, tell me about that. He said, I've been traveling all over the U.S. this week. He said, all you want to do with me is just bump an elbow. Great. But notice that he took responsibility and he figured that out. He didn't need a policymaker telling him, thou shalt not shake hands. So, thank you very much. So my point is, we're going to figure this out. I'm going to be talking about it. And I'm sure, I went on the CDC website, as I'm sure you have, and just what they're saying is right now, it's a virus, treat it like a virus. We're in the flu and cold season already. If you don't feel well, here's the great thing, your church is ready for you. If you're at home, you've got live stream. And it's great that we're so prepared. You're giving, you can do online, you're worshiping, there's a live stream option for you. I hope that we won't all stay home, but the great thing is, if you're not well or if your child is not well, it's wise of you not to come into a public arena, a space of any sort. So I want you to know that your employees here at Floris have a very generous PTO policy. I've already sent them a notification reminding them of that and saying we're going to take care of each other. So we're going to start that way. We're not going to start way up here. We're going to start in normative spaces, and we're going to plan rather than worry. Is that a good idea? Let's just plan it out. Let's talk about it, and let's not, Jesus told us, let's just worry about today. But today includes those worries. So, by the way, the people who serve you communion, they wash their hands before they come in, and we're also going to give them extra hand sanitizer so that you can see it. Because I know what you're thinking. All right, and it's just right before they come up. Isn't that easy? That's just something we planned. I think that's it.